I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so excited to have you. If you've been here before, you're part of that oh so pretty squad. Hey girl, hey, welcome back. And I'm excited to create something amazing with you guys today. So if you just saw that little preview, I know you're excited to get into this and see how these are crafted and created. I'm pumped at how these turned out. I'm wearing a pair right now. I mean, I'm just dying. I love them. I love them. I love them. This collection is giving you that bridal, that elegance, that it's just giving me so much. I love the florals. I love that texture pattern that I decided to put on some of them. I mean, I'm just loving. I'm looking over at them too. That's why I'm looking over here like, because I'm looking at them like, oh my gosh, they're just so gorgeous. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. So I'm excited for you guys to watch the process of me creating these. I hope that you guys love it. If you're here to learn something, hopefully you learned something through this process. And if you're looking to shop, if you're a bride or you know someone getting married, you can always check out my website. It's oliviaheyward.com. And yeah, let's get right into it. So let's get into it. These are the tools that I'll be using. Not every single thing is listed that I use for my projects, but you get the idea of what all I kind of use for this project. So I'm super excited to get right into it. I was so impressed with this rose and flower molds. It's my first time using those in this collection, and wow, they worked really well. So what I'm doing here is I'm really packing it in the mold just to make sure it's all filled out. And then I'm going across the back here and I'm cutting off any of the excess, which you gotta be really super careful because the mold is silicone, and so you can easily kind of like shave off some of the silicone mold. So it's just, you know, gotta be careful, cut really small pieces to really make sure you get off the excess. And a lot of times I didn't even cut it. I just kind of like pulled away at it to really see like that motion, just really just pulling away at those edges to kind of get the excess clay off of there. So that seemed to work really well. So wait for this reveal, wait for the pop out, wait, just wait. Oh my gosh, don't that just look like perfect? So I can't wait to just let's get into this and get more of these done. I'm gonna let you guys watch me fill out the rest of them, and then we'll move on to the next step.
Let's stay here. Let's stay here in love. Just don't get too far.
Alright, wow. I mean, that just looks like a bouquet of flowers, doesn't it? So right now, I'm going to go in with some, it's like a pearlescent white mica powder, and I'm just really kind of dusting that over all of the flowers. This is what makes it, right? Because it just brings out, I'm already using a pearl clay, so it just really brings out all the pearl and the clay, and it just makes it more white and brighter. So for me, like, this is what does it. It just makes it pop and shimmer and shine. This is what takes it up to the next level for me when it comes to whenever I'm doing pearl, especially in this aspect. I used this technique on a different type of pattern before in one of my collections not too long ago. But I mean, really, it is just amazing. So you're gonna see me start to now cut the shapes. So this is a really small batch. I just really wanted to like figure everything out, kind of see how it really works. So I really could not cut that many shapes. You'll see that I've already previously cut a few more shapes in a different type of pattern when I show you the whole thing. But I'm so mad at myself because I actually messed up that gray set, because somehow I like clipped it and it didn't come out all the way. So I ended up having to turn, see, I'm looking at it right now like, what did I do? I tried to fix it, but it just was a little bit smaller than the other one. So I was like, dang it. So I just ended up making those little like circle. They're a little bit more ovally, but not super ovally. So yeah, I ended up doing that. But I was super bummed because I really like that gray. It's like kind of like a diamond hexagon type of shape or whatever. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, I was bummed about that. But the circles came out great. I can't wait till you guys see. I actually ended up loving what I did with the circles. I made them like these huge circle studs, and they actually are really cute. But yeah, I was just like, man, I can't believe I messed that up. Alright, so here are some of the ones that I made off camera, just kind of playing around with some different ideas. When I'm making a new collection, especially something like this that's like really well thought out, I kind of play with some different shapes and all different things first, and then I go back and I'll make the full collection. So these are just really kind of me testing the concept. And these are the charms that I will be adding to this collection. Let me just tell you, they are so adorable, and this is really what's going to take this collection up to that bridal feel and look. These are also some pearls that I got. I didn't end up using these just because I felt like they were a little bit too white in comparison to the pearl color, so I didn't actually end up using those. But here they are, out of the oven. Yeah, they baked up really well. Oh man, they are just so gorgeous. Do you guys see these? Oh, in the beginning, if you guys saw me wearing that necklace, it was actually that little daisy. I don't know what these flowers are called. I need to know my flower names, but I was wearing that necklace. I forgot to mention it. I think I did mention it, but I ended up deleting that clip. But that little daisy with the yellow middle, I was wearing that. You'll see me wearing that in the intro and the outro, and I made it into a little necklace, which I really love. So it came out really, really cute. So right now I'm going to get some varnish on these. Because I used a mica powder, I just really want to make sure I can seal that in and it doesn't scratch and wear off over time. So right now I'm just going through and I'm adding some varnish to all the pieces, which gets kind of tricky because of the texture. So you just got to really make sure you get in there and you kind of brush away the excess of the varnish, because like I said, the texture makes it a little bit difficult because the varnish is such a thin product. it just kind of can bubble up. One of the things that I noticed when I did the ones with the green leaves is that it is a little bit, you know, bubbled up. So you just want to make sure if there's any excess, you wipe it off before you actually let it set, so it doesn't just sit there and just be there. So you remember last week, guys, I told you about my sanding box. Well, it is making an appearance. Right here I have a glass top on it, so I'm taking my Dremel and I'm just taking off the excess dust so y'all can actually see through it, because it gets really dusty in there. So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just like cleaning all of the dust off the top of the glass, and then I'm gonna get right into sanding. So yeah, let's watch this little sanding montage. I wish it took me this quick to sand. I really wish it did, but it doesn't. So oh well, we make some beautiful pieces.
I could stay like this, forever following you. Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be, to always be.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. But they are all sanded and ready to be more sanded. So the next step is I actually have to buff them out with some wet dry sandpaper, and I also use like this nail buffer that's have some 400 grit I think on it, and 500 grit, something like that. But they work really great because you can just kind of really hold them in your hand. So yeah, I'm really going to town on this, and look at the difference. It might be kind of hard to see on camera, but one just becomes really kind of smooth. You don't have any shininess on it. It has more of like a matte finish. Then I'm going over it with some acetone or nail polish remover to really just kind of like buff any surface flaws out that may have been impressioned on there or something like that. So it just kind of really cleans it up, and then I go over it again and again and again. And so now we're just gonna get through all the rest of these pieces, because man, it's not a lot, but it's kind of a lot. So right here I'm going ahead and I'm kind of deciding what I'm going to use for what. This is kind of how I start to like map out what I'm going to do, and sometimes it completely changes, sometimes it stays the same, but that's what I'm doing here. I'm really just kind of mapping out what I'm going to use for what. And like I said, I thought I was going to use those pearls, but I just didn't end up using them because they were just a little too white for me. I'll probably use them in something else where it's not white on white. Maybe I'm using it with a different color, or maybe I'll make these whiter. I'm not sure, but yeah, I didn't end up using the pearls, but I think they kind of really turned out well. So I'm just kind of mixing it up, matching them around, really kind of seeing what looks good together. And so once I figured that out, then I go through and I glue on the back. So I do a 2-part glue system because I really want to make sure my back stay on and secure. So first I go through with some E6000 and I glue the back on, and then I go over it with some UV resin just to really make sure it does not go anywhere. And this also helps like if you have sensitive earrings, because the resin, most of the resin kind of sits on your ear, which I don't think really people have like allergic reactions to that. You know, it's not the metal sitting on your ear all day or whatever. So I think that really helps, because I cover up most of the metal. You only have the posts going through your ears. So I have very sensitive ears, and that really helps me out. So alright, so now it is time to drill in the hole. So I usually like to do it on some type of wood or cardboard to make sure I get the holes nice and even. This part is the part that is so frustrating sometimes, because one little slip can mess up your piece. And so I did end up messing up one piece before I was done. I was so mad. I was like, man. So I'm not sure if I show it, but it's one little flower that I wasn't able to use how I planned on using, because yeah, I drilled 2 holes in it by mistake. The drill slipped. And so now I'm cleaning up my space with my little handy dandy vacuum. I love this dust vacuum. It is so cute. Well, it's not so cute, but it's so functional. How about that? So yeah, let's take a look at these pieces. Wow. Like, can I tell you, I'm just over the moon about how these came out. Like, I can see these on a bride. I can see these on bridesmaids. I mean, they just are so elegant. They're so tasteful. They are not overly like grandma flowery for me, because like I'm a person who I love floral and flowers, but I do believe that it can be like overdone a little bit, or sometimes there's a thin line between like too grandma floral or too grandma. So I think these are great because they're just very elegant, and I'm just absolutely obsessed with how they came out. Look at those studs. I mean, they are just amazing. They are just so nice. So let's get into how they look on. All right, so let's just take a look at some of these up close.
Just don't get too far, and I'll be right where you are. You're a dream that I could finally see. I just want us to always be.
Now this one, I don't think this is going to be a part of the bridal collection. I was just kind of playing and kind of seeing what this would look like if I brought a little green to this. So I might just, I don't know. I'll definitely have these up for sale, but it wasn't so much for the bridal. But I just was testing. But I love how they came out. They're very pretty. Alright, so that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had so much fun making these pieces. I can't wait to make more of them in this theme, in this bridal collection. I think they're just going to be super fantastic for bridal, but really you can wear them anytime, right? They're just a little bit fancier. This collection will be just a little bit more pricier just because we have all the charms and things like that on there. Can we see it? Is it focused? No, it's not. There we go. There we go. So we have all the charms and things of that nature. So these will be a little bit more elevated in price, but you know, you got to pay for the extra things to make them pretty. So I'm super excited about this collection, and I hope you guys are too. And if you are on this channel to learn a little something, hopefully you learned something with me creating this collection with you. If you're here with TGIW, hopefully this night has been amazing for you. We have saw some amazing videos, and I just love TGIW because we're right here in the comments talking with you, chatting with you. So it's been super exciting to do that. And invite your friends, you know, invite people to come to TGIW. Also make sure you like, comment, and subscribe what you want to see here on this channel, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace out. Welcome. It's so exciting. Make sure you stay and watch